That makes taxes sound really fun. We are back on a Saturday morning with your money. It is only January 25th, but Monday marks the official start of tax season.
If you usually wait until April to file, you may want to reconsider that approach this year, especially if you're expecting a refund.
CNBC senior personal finance correspondent and author of the CNBC Money 101 newsletter, Sharon Epperson, is here to explain and offer some tax tips because Sharon thinks taxes are fun, right?
Well, taxes are not necessarily fun, but getting them done early is really important.
I think there's some people who right now are like, wait, you can get them done as early as Monday. I mean, what are the advantages, maybe not Monday, but of doing them earlier, and what do you need to do to prepare?
Well, one of the key things to do when you're doing them early is to think about the fact that you're using your Social Security information, you're putting your things on that tax return ahead of a scammer. And so the earlier you do it, the less time there is for someone to take your identity. The other thing to think about is that you could get your refund sooner. It will probably take about 21 business days to get a refund. But the sooner you get it, the sooner you get that money and you're able to save, invest, or spend that money whatever way you want. And then if you owe money, you have extra time to figure out how you're going to pay that tax bill. You still are going to owe tax when the final due date comes on April 15th. If you owe tax, you owe it that day, or you'll have to pay penalties and interest. But this gives you time to figure out how you're going to do that and just avoid the stress of it all.
Yeah.
Sharon, how should you decide if you should be using an accountant or doing it yourself? And if you do the DIY route, what are sort of the best strategies to do it well?
Well, the key thing is you have to have your documents ready, and you have to gather all your necessary documents. And those are your W-2s from your job or 1099s if you're a contract worker or you have unemployment income. Right. You might have 1099s from brokerage accounts as well. You want to have all of those documents as well as last year's tax return to take a look and see what you may have missed and make sure you don't miss anything when you do it this time. If you're trying to decide whether to have an accountant or not, it's important to know how difficult your tax return is going to be. And if you hire someone, make sure they have a preparer's tax identification number registered with the IRS. Go to irs.gov to check them out.
Okay, that's a good tip. Anything new this year we should keep in mind? Any ways for people at home who might be looking to lower that bill?
Well, I think it's very important for people to keep in mind that the higher standard deduction is in place, higher than last year. And that's key because most people take the standard deduction. You want to make sure that you're above that threshold if you decide to itemize. Also, people may forget that if you've made some money with the online marketplace, you've sold goods and services over $5,000, you're going to get a 1099 form for that, too, called a 1099K form. That's income that you have to report to the IRS. So you don't want to forget that because you want your documents to line up. And then the other changes might just be in your personal life. If you've had a child, if you've lost a job, you want to make sure to pay attention to particular tax credits like the child tax credit, the child independent care credit, as well as the earned income tax credit. Credits are the best because that will lower your tax bill dollar for dollar. So you want to get as many credits as you can.
Bring on the credits.
I was going to give Joe a hard time. He almost dressed like an accountant.
Yeah,
he blew out the pinstripes today as we get started with tax season.
You can do it for free, too, by the way.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, IRS free file.
Yeah, good way to save a little bit of money there. Thanks so much. More of your Sharon's tax tips in her Money 101 newsletter on CNBC.com.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.